Hey guys, some things to think about that have been crossing my mind regarding supplements. Nutrition supplements lately, well, for a long time have been kind of a hot topic. But just over the last day or so, I've noticed in social media, my feed's been blowing up with discussions about an article that came out recently where in New York, investigators took a look at supplements that were on store shelves at Walgreens and Target and Walmart and I think one other place. Um, and I believe it was store brands that were focusing on, and primarily it was herbal supplements that were the concern. But these investigators took a look at this and they used a DNA barcoding technique. And I'm not a molecular biologist, I'm not a genomics expert, so I don't claim to be an authority by any stretch of the imagination on that stuff. But the intent was to identify through genetic analysis, through analysis of the DNA present in the supplements, well, what the ingredients were. If you have a particular plant that was supposedly ground up, or there was an extract from it, put into it, then you should be able to, detect that through a DNA assay of some sort. An issue was brought up regarding that, which I think is important considering the backlash or the outcry that seems to have come from this article. A lot of people now are roundly condemning the supplement industry at large, and especially herbals. And I'll be the first to tell you, I don't take any herbal supplements. I have a few times in the past. I'm not, married to the idea. I'm not, I don't have a dog in the fight either way. But a lot of people are just, like I said, just across the board condemning supplements, saying that, this is an indication that supplements are a scam, that the entire industry needs to be overhauled or needs to be done away with, or whatnot. And I think we need to have a more nuanced discussion on this because an interesting thing I didn't initially think about, but what was brought up by somebody in a discussion online yesterday was that there's some question regarding the validity of the test that was actually used. The method known as DNA barcoding supposedly is not well established, or it's not as well established as some older, more widely used DNA testing techniques. And furthermore, the person using it was not familiar with the process of trying to analyze plants. Apparently, it was for dinosaur DNA or something like that. Something wildly different. And then another idea was brought up that I didn't think about, which is that when you process a lot of these herbal supplements, if you have extracts that are taken from them, in the extraction process, lots of times the genetic material might be destroyed or otherwise lost. If that's the case, then it would render a test that's looking for the ingredient through clues from DNA pretty much invalid. So that's something to think about before drawing too many conclusions from this article, if you've come across it, or if you read it, or if you know other people that are, making, making points about it. But then, taking a step back from that, in a more broad sense, we need to look at the industry as a whole and realize that not all supplement companies are the same. Not all supplements are the same. Herbals are different from the stuff that a lot of bodybuilders and people concerned with athletic performance take. Like the things that I take, whey protein supplements have a certain amount of efficacy that's been demonstrated by, in the research. And that's not the same as certain herbal supplements that may or may not, depends on the supplement, may or may not have research to back it or may not have the robust efficacy that's been demonstrated. And you get other things, creatine, beta-alanine, even maybe HMB, branched-chain amino acids. There are a number of other things that are non-herbals that are supplements, but people have an image in their head, especially if they aren't in the industry, if they don't work in the industry, which I guess you could say I kind of do. They don't realize, they don't understand the difference. And it's important to know these differences and to understand that what applies to one in terms of whether or not it works and what the side effects may be doesn't necessarily apply to something else. They're just totally different things. Just like not all foods are created equal, right? Not all plants are created equal. With all that said, I do think that we need a lot more regulation. Does that all need to come from the federal government? Not necessarily. I'm not saying the federal government's amazing. It makes mistakes every day. But something does need to improve. So we don't have as many questions about the purity and the quality of these products. We don't have as many issues with the claims being made on the labels. That needs to change. And that's an ongoing discussion. But I just wanted to make a few comments about things to think about when you're talking about supplements. Vitamins are not the same as herbal extracts, are not the same as protein, are not the same as a specific amino acid or essential fatty acid or some kind of precursor or anything like that, a pre-workout vasodilator, whatever. Right? They're all different, and before making a definitive statement about any of them, you need to kind of know what you're dealing with. So I wanted to share that. That's all. So I don't know if anybody got anything out of that, but there you go. Talk to you later.